Welcome to the Level Up Report, where this week we'll be talking about how video games may or may not cause actual violence in the world.
So lately in the news, there's been a lot of mass shootings going around in the United States. And again, video games are taking a lot of heat from these events.
We're the
Um,
go-to scapegoats for this.
yes, the word scapegoat. They keep saying that video games are influencing these individuals in taking up arms and going out there and making a mess by shooting people and I said using proposing their agenda. And I have to say that politicians have to stop doing that. It is not right. I do have to agree that yes, video games has been getting more violent and violent over the years. It's getting more and more realistic. However, I do not think that people are getting more aggressive because of it.
I think
In
it would be
fact,
the opposite, actually, since usually video games, why people would play it, and like you or me play it, is just a way to escape reality or just to get away from life has, just to
yeah,
go somewhere else.
yeah, I agree. Like you said that personally, I've been playing video games for the longest. You could use me as a test I don't know, subject, and I've been playing more and more violent video games as I gotten older, and in no way or any form that I want to go outside and get a gun
And
and shoot
harm
people
someone.
up. Yeah, harm someone. It doesn't even have to be guns. Just any acts of violence against another human individual. And I, in total faith, could say that for you as well. I don't see you going outside doing anything violent. So I don't
No,
know.
I'm the same way. I've been playing more violent video games just because that's how I usually am. I usually play rated M games at this point,
Hmm.
and
And
I
I feel,
try not to try not to hurt anyone
hmm
because that's
and I,
not right.
and I feel like very M video games are the most fun games. Like most fun game. And like so, politicians saying like even go to as far as saying Fortnite are causing young people to become really, violent.
Like
Fortnite.
cartoony violence.
And like this isn't new. It's been going on ever since the very beginning of video games. The most common one would be Mortal Kombat back in the 1990s. And back then it was just violence. Nowadays, modern time, because of all the mass shooting, it's using guns. So Call of Duty, any kind of games that have like gun mechanics or attributed to using guns and shooting up schools or any other areas. And there's a lot of study been this been studied by university and stuff, and there's no correlation. There's no conclusive evidence saying that violent video game engagement leads to aggressive behavior.
Never really
Politician,
been proven, honestly.
yeah, and politician isn't stopping using this as a scapegoat. And and a few months ago, like in the state of Pennsylvania, they tried to introduce a new tax law. They want to propose a 10% additional tax on top of a sales tax to get money on violent video games, and they want to use this money to fund security, to buff up security for schools, and they think that will stop or decrease um, mass shootings in schools.
I think
And
what
I,
they need to promote for these things to reduce all this violence is encouraging seeking medical like mental health. It's okay to talk about it, kind of thing, or just have stricter gun laws and control.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree because I don't think this extra tax will really do any good in terms of decreasing the amount of shootings. I'm sure there will be shootings still. The success rate may be decreased, but the amount of it being done will not be decreased. And that's what we want to do. Decrease the amount of potential shooting, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, and it all comes down to mental health and what's this politician call it? Common sense gun laws. Common sense gun laws. So like make it harder for you to get weapons that are used in war. Why you need an automatic weapon in today's society? Who the hell are you fighting? You know?
I think more than anything, you need stricter gun laws for automatic weapons. Sidearms and semi-automatics, that could be debatable on that, but automatic weapons are what is making it very dangerous.
So yeah, who needs such a like fancy weapon? Like who are you fighting in America? So yeah, we definitely don't need that. And like maybe ID fingerprint for a specific gun. And I heard that upgrading to those kind of guns are not that expensive. So get a gun, only you could use it, so it could easily be traceable and trackable. So no one could get, use other people's gun, get stolen, get get into the black market. So yes, more more smarter gun laws, and definitely a big emphasis on mental health because students go to school, they under a lot of stress, under a lot of other things, and it is a stigma. So they need to get help. It needs to be known that getting help that kind of way is okay.
I think it's still not to the point where discussing your mental health issues or anything like that is the norm. People just still try to hide it, or thinking that it'll sort itself out, or no one wants to listen to me. That kind of negative thinking.
Yeah, and like I don't want them to like take away from the main issue here by just proposing these kind of new taxes. It takes away from the main issue of those concerns. And this new tax is just I feel like is the money even going to go towards anything you know viable, you know so I don't want the government to take advantage of, hey, here's another tax, we can keep it there forever.
We're just going
We're
to
not going
pocket
to.
the money, whatever we make
Uh-huh.
off that tax.
Yep. And that's just going to be really harmful for the game industry because it's hard enough for them to make money that they had to take like using microtransaction, other scummy methods. So this is just going to make it even worse for everyone, and we don't want that.
If they have to pay another fee on top of making the game, yeah.
So like we need politicians to stop using video game as a quick to blame like tactic, and I need them to address the real issue.
It's an easy way to just shift the blame. I don't know.
hmm
What it tells me is the politicians or anyone in charge of that have failed to do in their job to provide security, prevent these kinds of things.
I mean, there is security. There is metal detectors when I went to school. They exist, they exist. But we want to go further. We want to go so far to prevent a student from bringing a gun to school. You know?
I think what you really need is just to, like I said, have a stricter way to actually obtain guns. Maybe go through background checks or anything like that, but you just need a way to make it harder for people. When you make it harder, then people usually have to start thinking about it, because usually these things, maybe they'll go through a plan and everything, but the more time that it takes to actually get it started for them to go through with it, the more likely it is that they won't.
And here's what I propose. I say we should propose a additional tax on guns itself because it's the guns that kills people, not the video games. So maybe like a bullet tax. Every bullet you buy, every gun you purchase, you got paid a big tax on, and use that tax money to fund mental health programs
It's
for
a
school.
tricky subject.
Yeah.
It had a long history of just having video games just constantly getting the blame for just violence happening, gun violence especially in the United States at least. I'm not sure about other countries like in Europe and such, but at least for the United States, it's been this way for many years.
Speaking of the countries, another country that is really prolific in playing video games, including violent games, will be Japan. So let's use Japan as an example. But Japan, gun crimes are really low. Violent gun crimes are really low. They play as just as much video game as us, but their crimes are low. And because they do have a smarter gun law in place. So people that want to purchase a gun, you have to take a test. You can pass it. Like a car license, you got to get a license to own a gun. Take a class, and you have to buy a box vault, secure into your house, and document it under the police record. So everything
Okay.
is regulated. Yeah, everything is regulated. You can own a gun. You can own a shotgun as well. All that good stuff. But it's just so well regulated that there's none of that stuff going on.
There's a lot
Like
more steps involved to actually possess a
and
gun.
but that's what we need. I feel
Yeah,
like
I agree.
yeah, that's what we need. Like if Japan could have guns and have video games with such a decrease in like shootings, why can't we? You know, why can't they're doing something good there. We should adopt their policy and make it happen here.
Definitely take notes and yeah, like you said, adopt it, change it up based on our society.
Yeah.
Just straight up copying it over won't work perfectly.
Well, yeah, make it Americanized. So we want our guns, we want our games, we want happy students going to school. None of this shooting stuff. So let's make it happen.
Make it happen. Do it now.
Do it now.
Well, that's it for this week's topic. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.